GW can't meet demand inside the 40K supply crunch. Spiky Bits. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com. So, quick question. Have you tried buying Warhammer 40K lately only to end up with nothing but frustration? Well, you're not alone. Between sold out boxes, influencers flaunting multiple copies of kits, and local game stores coming up empty for basically the past 2 years, something is not adding up. So let's talk about why Games Workshop can't keep up and what it means for you. So here's what's going on. Right now, Games Workshop simply can't keep up with demand. It's not just hype or limited releases, aka FOMO. It looks like they literally do not have the production set up to match how much people really want their stuff right now. And even though the number of stores worldwide hasn't changed, supposedly, since 2023, interest in Warhammer is basically at an all-time high. Between the upcoming Henry Cavill project, new video games, and more, people are just trying to buy in, but the product just isn't there. Now, here's where things get even more frustrating. Content creators are getting priority. Many get early access, which is fine, but the problem is that they're getting multiple copies of these new boxes, while stores are lucky to get basically double that. Retailers are just stuck at certain relationships with customers, and stores can't build a community if there isn't anything to sell. And then there's the things that the Games Workshop thinks on paper is a good idea. Stuff like the Cathay bundle, where it's a new army release that was tied to stores having to buy older, out of date or perhaps not as hot stock in order to get the new stuff, the very first new faction in over 20 years for Warhammer Fantasy. It just doesn't make any sense. It almost seemed like Games Workshop was trying to clear out warehouse shelves under the cover of a launch instead of what launches are all about. And yes, we're looking at you too, Grey Knights Combat Patrol, the new one, air quotes. Now, to make things worse, there's no fix in sight, y'all. New factories are supposedly coming. We've already reported on that, but that's not gonna help right away. That's not gonna help for years. So what can you do? Well, obviously try to support your local game store where you can. Keep an eye on third-party sellers. There's plenty of alternatives out there if you can't get what you need from Games Workshop themselves. And don't be afraid to let Games Workshop know that this system really doesn't seem to be working for anybody, themselves included. Think about if you're a Games Workshop shareholder, how much money the company left on the table. And I would say, conservative estimates, a third of the revenue. I would say it's probably closer to half of the revenue. I don't know for sure, but it seems like they could have done a lot more business if they had the units available, even throttling it back to do the time-honored tradition of FOMO that they always like to do. So if you've struggled to get your hands on new releases, or you've just had enough of the stock issues, drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Let's hear everybody's story, what you think the fix is, and maybe they'll get a conversation started in Nottingham. Who knows?
Thanks for watching. Supporting us is super easy. Just click on the article links provided, subscribe, or follow us right here. And remember, next time you're searching for the best Warhammer news, type Spiky Bits into Google to get the most accurate info. See you in the next one.